and welcome back to Lyric Dani. I'm your host Dani, and today it's all about The Prophecy by Taylor Swift. So, the thing about The Prophecy, it's one of those songs that so many people can relate to without even realizing it. That feeling that love has failed them, or like love has failed on your side. It marks as the 26th song from the Tortured Poets Department, The Anthology by Taylor Swift. So a quick overview about what the song is about. It's how prophets predict your life, but it seems that they overlooked taking into account a love prospect for you. So before we get started, I do want to admit that The Prophecy is one of my favorite songs that I've analyzed and I love to listen to at the same time. I think it's like such meaningful song and a song so many people can relate to, as I mentioned subconsciously. I think it's like one of those songs that once you listen to it, there's no going back. And oh my, this song is just so good. So as the song begins, it seems like you're trying to catch love, like it was some sort of physical object, but seem to miss every time. And you're going at full speed thinking that this might be the one, but realizing it's not meant for you. This line is quite interesting actually, because I thought of two different perspectives of it. So the first one, it is referencing the Bible and how Eve doesn't necessarily get bitten, but she eventually bites the forbidden fruit after being tempted at first, which is just like in Snow White. But in her tale, she does eat a poisoned apple with a sleeping curse, which now brings me to the I got cursed part. Was it punishment? Like how those two connect. And it's like feeling cursed in love. It's as if you were told that one bite of that poison apple would bring love into your life, but instead it just made you unlovable instead. It feels like a punishment that you're unable to fall in love or find someone to be with. There's that feeling of loneliness when you get home, walking around in silence, padding around, thinking about how a woman who doesn't fight for love or that has given up on love has lost hope and stopped trying to find love. So this image in my mind, it's like so clear how you're just like looking at the sky and like praying, like begging, asking someone, everyone, everything to change your prophecy. Someone who doesn't bother being alone wouldn't beg to be in a relationship. But we have the hopeless romantics, the ones who beg on their knees to be with someone, a woman who has been in previous relationships that didn't end quite well, decided she was better off alone. But we have the hopeless romantics, as I mentioned, that we just look at the sky, look at the stars, look at the moon, hoping and begging that one day that one person will come our way. And how it feels like you're constantly asking for someone to come to your life, someone to change what's destined for you to occur, your prophecy. But the thing about the hopeless romantics is that they don't want anything material. That's the thing they least care about. They just want someone there for them, someone to listen, to understand, to hold them when they're about to break. Yet, many don't get that. And it seems like you're wondering, who do you have to ask to change your prophecy? As previously mentioned, the prophecy is the prediction of something to predict. I think Taylor unironically yet intentionally connected different beliefs throughout her song. How there is religion, cards on the table, tarot cards, and prophets, how it's connected with the universe in a way. I think it's different beliefs that people have and what you have, what I have, how they're differently sorted out throughout the song, yet we can all resemble to it in a way. Because it's not just one belief. There's many and multiple beliefs that throughout the song you can identify in a way. But yes, I do find that interesting. It's like your timeline isn't meant to include a soulmate with the Fools in the Fable situation. It seems that your cards are cursed, and it's that the only thing you desire most will never be in your favor, thinking that you're cursed when it comes to love. Some people are destined to find their soulmates in life, but others never do. It's as if the stars never align for that special person to come along. You plead for this to change because you're afraid to grow old and never fall in love. Never find your Ali to your Noah. I got inspired by the notebook while writing this analysis, so I just felt like it seemed right to include Ali and Noah. The results of your cards are sinking in, as if you were standing on quicksand and not moving because you know how it will end. So what's the point of holding out for hope? The wound in your hand, knowing your blood is poison and you could die, you still let it bleed because you wish to be with him, but know it's impossible because it's not meant to be. But you still have a glimmer of hope. You risk everything in hopes of falling in love. What's the point of accomplishing so much in life and end up alone? There's no one to share it with. Seeing all your friends in relationship, married with families, while wondering why you can have that. So when I wrote this down, I was just connecting all the other lyrics, how it kind of like builds up with what I thought from the song, how the poison blood from the poison apple, knowing how your life is gonna play out, but still having that little glimmer of hope from the hopeless romantic that you are. And you still risk everything in hopes that maybe your timeline will change. How all these little bits just like end up adding up perfectly to create a little story about it. Hold up, this bridge is one to just take a bow on, because it's like so deep cutting, but it's so beautiful and so mesmerizing, yet it's so sad, because like it's like a mixture of feelings. It's a mixture of everything. It's so perfect how it's composed. Like, oh my god, I was so in shock the first time I listened to this bridge, because how crazy it was, and how each time you listen to it you like get it a bit more, I would say, and it's just like oh my god sort of situation. So yeah, it seems like you've been crying, realizing your story is coming to an end. The prophets have finished writing your story, and there is no sight of what you desire most. A greater woman says cool, but I howl like a wolf at the moon. It seems like you're so desperate now that you do whatever it takes to change what was destined for you in your life. When you wait for too long, you start to lose hope. That glimmer in your eyes start to fade away, and that fire that you once had inside you vanishes away. And it's also like a connection with how statues do break after long periods of time after not being taken care of or mismanagement. This line, this ending to the bridge felt like a stab, like right throughout the chest and the stomach. You know, it's a tough one to take in, but it's so beautifully and tragically written. You're losing hope, you're losing color, and realizing nothing is changing, and finally giving up on love. Sealing your fate is finally accepting what was meant for you and taking your destiny. But hold up, there is one little chance of hope. You do give your last chance in love. Sending that coin to the fountain, that last coin you had, making that last final wish, hoping it actually works out this time and that your one wish will become true. So right after the bridge comes to an end, we go back to the "a greater woman says cool, but I howl like a wolf at the moon" line. In the song, you can listen how Taylor is like howling at the moon. Like the end of the bridge is pretty much just instrumental, but you do hear the woo, woo. Like she's howling at the moon, begging for it to change. She's howling at the moon, asking for a change, and like referencing the line. And I just think that was crazy. The outro is very similar to the first verse with part of the chorus, how it seems like a cycle repeating itself. But this time, the last please of the song seems more like an echo, like if you were sending your last pleading, your last prayer, your last hope up to the sky, hoping that this time you might get hurt. And that's a wrap. Oh my god, I don't know how much footage I've done. Thank you so much if you stay all the way through. The link to the essay will be in the description down below. Please let me know if you enjoyed this video in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, share, whatever you want. Be my guest, and I'll see you at the next one.